So I've been very patiently waiting on Sacred Fire to finally hit Ho-Oh, as Lugia has finally gotten Aero Blast within the last few months. And we finally get the move stats in the Game Master file, and it's pretty depressing. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's yours truly, Fitz. How you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. And a lot of you guys know that Ho-Oh is my favorite Pokemon, like, of all time, like my favorite Pokemon. And I've been dying for Sacred Fire to come out. It's a very good move in the main series, and I was hoping it was going to be a very good move to put Ho-Oh on the map as a viable fire Pokemon to use in raids. Because there are quite a few good ones now, but adding Ho-Oh to your team because of its well-rounded, fantastic stats, I figured would be fantastic, because Incinerate was a fire quick move that it was desperately needing, and it's actually pretty good for PvP as well. Well, time to ruin everything, because Sacred Fire does 120 damage in PvP with 70 energy, with a 50% chance to nerf your opponent's attack stat by 1. Yeah, that's not good. Fire Blast is arguably just as good. So that's not good, and especially with the Ho-Oh kits that are running around in Master League right now, it's Brave Bird and Earthquake. That's what you want. Now in PvE, it gets even worse. It does 110 damage and takes 100 energy. The problem is, Fire Blast is better than this. So why is Sacred Fire not that great? And we're going to move into the next thing. Exclusive moves need to be borderline OP. They borderline need to be OP, and here's what I mean by that. Psystrike is borderline, well, let's be honest. So Psystrike's OP. It's 90 power and only takes 50 energy. It's a 2-bar move for Mewtwo, and it's an absolute animal in raids and in PvP. Mewtwo got it both. Mewtwo got both with Psystrike. It made it a monster, and it's an exclusive move. Aeroblast. Aeroblast is interesting, but 2 sky attacks do 160 damage. Aeroblast is 180, and it also has a chance to, I believe it has a chance to boost your attack stat as well. I can't remember 100%, don't quote me on that, but it has a chance to boost your attack stat in PvP. But it's an okay move in PvP, but it does do more damage than 2 sky attacks. Now, depending on how you like to play, both either in PvP or raids, you can utilize sky attack a little bit more in raids. But the point is, Aeroblast is not a bad move like Sacred Fire is. It's a pretty good move. It's not great, it's pretty good. Next one is Doom Desire, a Jirachi exclusive move. Now, it's not really good in raids because it doesn't have a good steal quick move just yet. That could change down the road, and that will definitely change for Doom Desire and Jirachi. But it's really good in PvP. You can have some serious success with this Pokemon in the Great League more than the Ultra League, but you could always build a team around this Pokemon. Doom Desire is a good move. Another one is Sacred Sword. Sacred Sword is not a bad move in PvP at all. And finally, all the Swords of Justice can learn it. So fighting moves are pretty overpowered in PvP, especially in the Master League with Melmetal, Dialga, Excadrill, the list goes on. So these Pokemon are really good, especially Virizion, because Virizion has access to Leaf Blade for the Kyogre counters, and it has access to Sacred Sword for the steel counters I mentioned. So Sacred Sword, not good for raids necessarily. Terrakion, yeah, it could be okay, but more toward PvP. So in other words, it's still a good move, a viable good move to use. Psycho Boost, same thing. Psycho Boost is for Deoxys, right, in all its forms. Well, Defense Deoxys is the only one that's really good in PvP and worth using it for, but it's a really good move. It's a very powerful move in PvP. 70 damage, and it only needs 35 energy to power up. That's insane. So that's really good for PvP. You could use normal form or speed form Deoxys in raids and do some mass damage with this move, but not really highly recommended, especially with Mewtwo running around with Psystrike because it's busted. Now let's get into some Pokemon where Niantic could absolutely destroy as far as its viability moving forward, because guys, Ho-Oh just got destroyed. Ho-Oh is not good still to this day with this exclusive move unless this changes. Xerneas could fall into the same trap. Its exclusive move in the main series doesn't do damage, but we got moves like Charm, which is also a fairy move that doesn't do damage in the main series, but in Pokemon Go, it's a quick move dealing mass damage. So if Xerneas gets its exclusive move, it better be a fast move, because that way we can have a fairy moveset for raids, because Xerneas has very good stats. 250 is nothing to scoff at, and 246 stamina is fantastic as well. So you can do mass damage in raids with a fairy Pokemon. For once, we don't have a single really good fairy Pokemon to do mass damage in raids. Let that sit for a second in your mind. Think about that for a second. We don't have a single good fairy moveset Pokemon to deal mass fairy damage in raids. Think about it. Another Pokemon that people will probably be absolutely outraged with is Darkrai with Dark Void. If they screw up Darkrai with Dark Void, it's supposed to be a OP move. It's Darkrai. Its stats are OP. They can severely nerf this Pokemon to oblivion, just like Ho-Oh. And then you have Yveltal, another Pokemon that has an exclusive move that's fantastic, but Niantic might completely screw it up. And we know of a Pokemon that is still severely lacking a water fast move, and that's Suicune. Now, obviously there's better water Pokemon to use in raids, but Suicune has really good defense and stamina, and I really love Suicune to begin with, let's be honest. But it has been dying for a water fast move for some time. And there's obviously a lot more examples of what I'm talking about too. So the fact that Ho-Oh has been desperately needing Sacred Fire to be either a 90 damage 2-bar move or like a 100 damage 2-bar move that maybe needs 55 energy in PvP or maybe 60, it's just absolutely appalls me that they decided to make Sacred Fire terrible. Because one last thing I want to leave you guys with before we go over to Magical Leaf, because we'll just briefly talk about that, is Ho-Oh's stats. I don't think people really realize how good Ho-Oh's stats are. 239 attack, 244 defense, 214 stamina. This Pokemon is it's probably the most well-rounded Pokemon in the entire game. That is a well-rounded statistical monster. The only other one I can think of that even comes close is Tangrowth. Because Tangrowth is a well-rounded statistical monster, but it pales in comparison. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Now, Magical Leaf is not bad for Celebi. It was never good in raids, and we don't have a lot of good grass Pokemon for raids. I mean, honestly, Tangrowth is one of them. But this makes Celebi pretty viable because Magical Leaf is like a Air Slash clone, so you can at least do stab and super effective damage to like water and ground raids, while also hitting it with like a Leaf Storm or something like that does super effective damage as well. So Celebi just got better in raids, but not in PvP, but Celebi was never really good in PvP to begin with, so this is really cool. This is a buff, and again, in raids, and you can add it to your grass team, because again, there's not really that many good grass Pokemon to begin with for raids, so you can add this one to your team if you're like me and like to do all grass or like all water, and just keep doing that super effective damage. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about Sacred Fire. I hope it changes. If we speak our voices and let our voices be heard, it can change. Smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Be a part of the Fit City fam. That's the boy Fit City. I'm signing off. See you guys in the next Pokemon Go video.